Cold start in track mode. Time to make neighbors hate me. Good morning, neighbors. Hey guys, it's Dave with POV Drives. Today we're taking a look at the muscle car I've just always had such an attraction to, a pull towards, the Ford Mustang. Now this is a 2019 Ford Mustang Bullitt, so it's kind of a special edition, but it's that same S550 platform that up until 2024 was the current Mustang generation. Mustang has gone from a solid rear axle muscle car to a proper sports car coupe, as you can see. So we're going to talk about kind of what this Bullitt is, take a little walk around, talk about the interior of this last generation, and take it for a drive. Got a couple videos that I'll be putting up on the channel. So let's get into it. So starting from the exterior, we are painted in, I believe, this dark emerald green, or sorry, Highland green. Car's a little dirty, but it has this nice little dark green with a little green metallic flake. The Bullitt is styled after kind of 70s action spy thrillers. The name comes from the 1968 movie with starring Stephen McQueen. I don't know if that was GR Corolla. And he's like a race car driver, and in that it's like a kind of a action thriller. So we get unique Bullitt badging on the back, in the side sills, and on the wheel. It's supposed to kind of look like a spy reticle, kind of like in James Bond. Powering this Bullitt is a higher horsepower, 480 horsepower, 5-liter naturally aspirated V8. Connected to the rear wheels by a 6-speed Tremec manual transmission. We also get Brembo front brakes and rear as well. These 19-inch special edition heritage wheel, which looks like to be General G-Max all-season tires. We get some front springs, K-bracing, you know, subtle tweaks to make this a pretty sharper Mustang than your average GT or GT Premium. This is kind of like what they had before they brought back the Mach 1, sort of parallel to the GT 350, and now the current generation Mustang Dark Horse. So a little bit under like a Shelby GT 500, but a little bit more performance than a GT Premium. Take a look at the 5-liter. Silky smooth 5-liter V8. I think it's about 420 pound-feet of torque. Functional air inlet, but yeah, a little dirty of an engine bay, but we get this open air intake with the Bullitt. And there you can see it, the beautiful 5-liter V8 powered by Ford. Bullitt front bracing. Finally up front, we get this interesting kind of simplistic blacked grille. Not many pony badges on this Mustang. It's supposed to be kind of under the radar, little spy, secretive. I like it. I like the styling. It's pretty understated. Back seats. I have the seat memory set to a good position for me to get in. 60,000 miles, a little bit creaky, but this is a coupe, so getting in wouldn't be too difficult. But even if I brought it back, I will have plenty of legroom, but headroom is the issue in any coupe. I'm 5'10", plenty of room behind myself, but I'm scrunched over, as you can see. These seats are pretty well bolstered and comfortable, and they have nice leather, but you're not really going to fit anyone above probably like 5'2", 5'3". My fiance fit pretty well. I think she's about 5'2". She was like kind of right here with her head. So yeah, just keep that in mind. This is really a two-person car, unless you don't like anyone. I do like how easy it is to go back and forth at the power seats, aside from that noise. Not a power back, but you do get power on the bottom seat cushion and two-way lumbar. Getting into the Mustang, a little bit of a low ducking ingress egress, but once you're in, it's pretty cozy. Feels a little bit smaller and lower to the ground by my Audi S4, but not too much smaller otherwise. I like the distance between the dash. This interior is, I think, decent for the prices these Mustangs go for and the experience. Got some leather trimming on the seats. These are heated and ventilated. You know, a little softer, hard plastics, I guess if that's the phrase, in the center stack. This fake plastic that's pretty substantial, but it looks nice. Has this kind of a industrial look to it. We get your Bullitt badge with your special serial number or factory manufacturer. Harder or softer plastics up here. You got a Bang & Olufsen sound system as part of that technology package, which also includes 3-seat memory. And this 12-inch digital gauge cluster is standard. You have a bunch of different modes and views you can go through. Hitting this pony kind of brings up your performance page, including rev matching, launch control, and the exhaust. We are set to normal. Go to quiet. Tones that 5-liter down pretty substantially, and you could go all the way up to track. Get more of those pops and grunts from this 5-liter. This is a classic Mustang design though, with like kind of the 2 hood bulges, but visibility is great compared to the Camaro. I haven't driven a Challenger yet, but plenty of room to see my blind spots. We also get blind spot monitoring as part of the technology package, but I'm pretty comfortable. I feel like I'm pretty close to the driver's seat, but I still have plenty of room to dance with the 3 pedals. Speaking of those 3 pedals, love this shifter. The gates pretty well defined, and you can see your gear display in the center cluster. We also get some drive modes: normal, my mode, Sport S Plus, track, drag strip, snow and wet. We're gonna start off in normal. We also can adjust our steering between comfort, sport, and normal. And traction control, which I'm gonna leave on. I don't wanna become another Mustang story. Wired Apple CarPlay works pretty well. Standard Sync 3 of this generation. It's pretty standard and nothing special about it. We also get a heated seat, or steering wheel, which is good on these nice hot, chilly mornings. It's about 46 degrees out. Got the heated seats as well. Manual parking brake, decent amount of storage in the center armrest, 2 cup holders out of the way of the shifter. You can't really fit a phone in here, but they like to think you would. Other than that, you get a standard cup holder, glove box, and good visibility out the rear. We also get a reverse camera with okay resolution and rear parking sensors, which is nice. They know you want to back these Mustangs in because you don't want to scrape your front lip. All right, enough said. Let's get this out on the road. Talk more about this Mustang Bullitt. Go back to Apple CarPlay, bring up our map. Shift into first. As we navigate through this parking lot, plenty of torque to slip the clutch. You can short shift this very easily into the next gear, make it nice and smooth. I really like the manual shifter. I'm still learning how to kind of really refine that last 5% of manual driving. But not only is the transmission and the engine very forgiving, it's just very nice to drive. Even if I'm not the most comfortable with it, I really enjoy going through the gears. Take it to the left. The clutch has a good amount of resistance. It's not too heavy, it's not too light either. Fuel economy on these Mustangs, I'll talk more about on the highway, but you get what you're paying for, and you're paying for fun. This owner has averaged about 20 to 21 mpg. I think it gets 15 mpg in the city, 24, 25 on the highway. I'll throw up the real numbers on the screen. Steering, turnstock, sounds like a galloping pony. Boy, I should have went right. I think normal mode is probably the best exhaust mode to balance that Mustang character without being absolutely obnoxious. But even in quiet mode, really does a good job. This active exhaust really quiets down the 5-liter, as you can hear. Not too much from that engine. Now, starting off in normal, go up to our My Mode screen to show we're at a normal drive mode with comfort steering, normal suspension, and quiet exhaust, which again I can adjust. We could come up to the stop sign. Brakes are super firm, nice and bitey. Wasn't able to do a turning radius, but pull into this this parking lot. Steering is pretty boosted. I'm not really getting much feedback from the front tires. It does weight up between the modes, but not really too impressed with the steering. But I kind of like a lighter, simple steering because I'm always thinking of cars as daily drivers. That was a bad shift on my part. But even in comfort, or even in quiet exhaust, you can still hear the rumbles of the engine. Go over to normal exhaust. I like how you can kind of do all of your exhaust and controls from this screen, but I would like just kind of a quick button to go between like sport and normal. Car revs up all the way to 7,000, so you're going to be having plenty of fun with the gears. Really let that 5-liter sing. Active rev matching is spot on, hits the throttle blips every time. No guessing if it's going to be a smooth transition. You're always going to hit those downshifts. And it works all the way into first, which is pretty nice. Good for new beginners, but also good for track people who don't want to really be too concerned with the you know, all those extra tasks. Maybe that's not as pure as some people would like. Hopefully we can hit this entrance ramp without any issues. It is a busy Sunday. do find myself kind of shifting from first to third and to fifth around town. The gearbox is more than happy to do that. All right, we'll try our best to enjoy this entrance ramp. I like how the gauge cluster also changes between drive modes. Even in track, you get this kind of next level horizontal tack. And that track exhaust mode, woo! Too fast for the highways. So go into my mode. I have it, I believe, set to quiet exhaust. See how the sounds on the highway. Blind spot monitoring letting me know there's a guy in my blind spot, but let's get over here and get up to 70. Sitting right at 70, we do have cruise control. You can set it right here, turn it on and off, and set it 1 to 2 mile an hour increments. There's plenty of torque in 6 if I want to go to 75. You cannot hold it for extra 5 mile increments, but it'll accelerate if you hold down. But yeah, lots of torque at 6th gear to make some passes to speed up. But the 5 liter, especially in quiet mode, it does settle down very nicely. Comfort around town, it's a little firm, but it's not crashy. It's pretty comfortable. We might miss our turn. Pretty comfortable, definitely makes for a great GT car. Going to sport. I just love the sound of that 5 liter. Really, really nice. Really nice tone, really deep and guttural. Compared to the Camaro sounds more edgy and angry. Still a great sound, but this just sounds like a classic muscle car grumble. It's a little bit more refined, I guess, of a sound, and there's less pops and burbles compared to the Camaro. Holy shysta! Wow! I don't want to go anywhere near that red line. That's crazy. And then it settles down. Even on the highway at 70, it's a good tone in this sport exhaust mode. You get even quieter in normal. On this way back, we'll go into normal, see how that sounds at 70. A little bit more tone, a little bit more acoustics from the 5 liter. This is nice. I've enjoyed my time with this. I think just talking about the competitors first. Aside from the used market, because you can't compete the Bullitt with any modern muscle car anyways, there are no competitors. The Camaro's dead, the Challenger's becoming an EV, we all know this. I think the Mustang strikes the best balance in terms of visibility, performance, attainability, and I mean, a Challenger, you can definitely get an RT or a Scat Pack, but they can get stolen. You'd have to put a lot of money to make sure your car won't get stolen, and I'm sure your insurance goes up as a result. The Camaro is a beauty. I love Camaros. They're just not very livable. They have very little space in them. But not that the Camaro or the Mustang has more space in the rear. But it's just the visibility, the size of it, the placing, it's just a little bit more difficult. But the Camaro is, I don't know. I really couldn't go wrong with either if I wanted something like this, because this would be a great second car for me. I just don't know if I can do the coupe lifestyle. We're planning to have a family. I have Milo some days. And let's actually go to the right. Yeah, so I just he couldn't get into the back seat. He's a big dog and his butt would not settle into those buckets. But as a second car, I would buy one of these in a heartbeat. But not really there right now for that second car lifestyle. I kind of would like a garage, or at the very least my own property, before I dove into the second car. But this was something I wanted to drive and live with because it has a manual and it's got the V8. It's the pretty much ultimate end of the gas era combination. Muscle car style, 6-speed transmission, V8, naturally aspirated, no turbocharging, no automatic, no hybrid, no EV. And these cars are pretty reliable, so it really checks a lot of the boxes for that second car, but it doesn't really check a lot of the boxes for the primary for me. Let's make a left turn and not try to hurt ourselves. Let's go into Sport S. That was in my mode. I knew it was quiet. I'm like, this sounds very quiet. Aye. There it is. God, I don't want to give this car back. It's just so comfortable. It's so raw. Props to this Turo renter for putting such a unique car with a lovely 6-speed. V8 on Turo. Oh man. So overall, I've really enjoyed my time at this. I'm still not 100% comfortable manual, but I feel like I'm doing better when I drive by myself. When I have passengers, I still feel like I'm jerky and stuff, so I'm trying to balance not slipping the clutch too much, adding the gas, you know. I'm trying to just balance the whole thing, and it's a little tricky, but it's okay. We're getting there, you know. And yes, I'm getting Domino's. All right, I'm gonna wait. All right. With that being said, hope everyone enjoyed the video. Please give it a like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, that's enough. Let's settle things down. All right, it's been Dave with POV Drives. I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.